Hey, ETC and YouTube, this is Andrew Hayslip, or drewsliphay, and I'm doing this week's deck profile. Mark and I were going to do this in Atlanta, but based on the story that is currently in OT, go read it if you have not. My weekend was a little different, so we weren't able to do this. Um, so I'm going to be doing a profile on my own deck, deck very near and dear to my heart. Counterplant. It is what I ran in Atlanta, and I was pretty happy with how I did. I was victim to a couple bad matchups. Oh well, it happens. I guess I didn't prepare my side well enough, and then my opponents ripped God. Must be nice. But yeah, quick tournament recap. Went 5-3. Lost on the bubble to Lightsworn. Also lost to Blackwings and Sabers. On the day, beat Gadgets, Blackwings, Sabers, and Quick Draw. And one more. What was the last one? Blackwings, Saber, Quick Draw, Hopeless. I don't remember. I posted it in the event in somebody's events and reports. So I will go through the deck and explain to you how it works. First card off the top, Sangan, searches Lone Fire, all that stuff. You should probably know how the deck works before I really start explaining card choices. Basically, it's all about Black Garden, and other than that, it's typical counter trap, Bountiful Artemis line. Keep in mind, though, Garden makes a lot of typically conventional choices not good. Used to run Thunder King in this, but he was absolutely terrible. You need to have stuff that you can effectively flip summon, which is why Doom Caliber Knight is a thought I'm having. Big defense, all that fun stuff. I will probably consider it once I get them. So yeah, back to card choices. Sangan searches Lone Fire, searches a bunch of stuff. Great card. I actually didn't have that in there until not too long ago, just because a lot of the stuff that I would like to search for, like Artemis, can't. So I mean, I would rather use my normal summon on a set of Artemis or something like that than I would a Lone Fire, because Garden on the field can't really go off with Lone Fire because they'll be getting tokens, and it's not a good situation. Next, 3 Bountiful Artemis. Standard for counter decks. Telling a buddy the other day, if Artemis had 1,000 or less defense, the deck would not work. It's all about flip summoning Artemis and just camping behind that 1,700 defense until you need it. Sniffus, arguably the MVP of the deck. Unbelievable card. Allows you to go to Naturia Beast, you kill off Oppressions, Black Whirlwinds, just garbage like that, by attributing Garden tokens, Dandy tokens, whatever. Hamster, huge defense, which is great with Garden, and searches out Sniffus and Rykos. Problem I had with the deck was it didn't have a whole lot of big monster destruction in its preliminary builds. They pulled out like a Goyo or something that was and it got around Garden via like Trunade or Cold Wave or something like that. Deck had very little comeback ability, so now Rykos are real nice for that. Next, Spore and Glow Up. Yes, this says ETC Mark on it. Shout out to Mark. If any of y'all want to send me cards with your name on them, I will run them. Just PM me and I'll send you my address. But yeah, basic tuners for, plant decks. 2 Dandelions, you're running Polynosis, basic choice. Lone Fire, same thing. You actually camp behind 1,400 defense a lot more than you think. It's actually a really good play to not use Lone Fire's effect every so often. Titanial, you have to... Yeah. Last but definitely not least is Botanical Lion. As I kind of touched on at the beginning, cards that wouldn't typically be good are incredible in this. Lion is Back when I used to run the deck, it was a 3 of, honestly. Because, I mean, you flip it under Garden, and it's automatically a 1900 attacker, 2000 defender. Nothing's going to get over it. I mean, not as long as Garden lives. So, it's awesome in this deck. Next for the spell line, 3 Pot of Duality. Awesome card. Black Garden is ruled as when you normal summon, you are generating the token for your opponent. So you're special summoning that token. So if you've activated Pot of Duality, you'll summon a monster. It'll still get halved, but they won't get the token, which is really good if you want to make an Artemis push. Then, as I mentioned, 3 Black Garden. You actually use Garden's third ability a lot more than you realize. Blowing up 2 cards, blowing up all plants on the field. Bring back a monster with that same attack. Very common play is have like Artemis and Garden on the field, and they have like an empty field or whatever. You've got a Spore or a Glow Up Engrave. Activate that ability, bring it back. They get a Garden token, 800, 800. Synchro with Artemis and whatever you brought back to whatever you need. They get another token. Then blow up Garden and both of their tokens, because you won't have a plant on your side of the field, hopefully. Bring out something with attack equal to the 2 tokens combined attack, which is 1600. The Artemis you just synchroed with. So that's a real common play. Amazingly well. It works really well. And that's one of the win conditions in the deck. Then 2 Book of Moons. Great card. And simple. Flip something down under Garden of yours. You can flip it back up. It's got its original attack. It's no longer halved or whatever. Then Dark-Hole and Reborn. Self-explanatory. Now to the trap line. 3 Solemn Warning. Guys, this is an absolute 3 of. I know a lot of people have been saying drop it to 2 because it's expensive. Monetarily and life. But it's an absolute 3 of. I mean, there's no way around it. It's been amazing. 3 Dark Bribes. It's counters. You have to. I mean, I won one of the games against Lightsworn on the bubble because I kept bribing solar recharges. It was pretty funny, I have to say. And he just couldn't do anything. 2 7 Tools. Honestly, I'm considering dropping a bribe for a third 7 Tools because 7 Tools, it's not a fair card. It's unbelievable. 2 Divine Wrath, Stop Hunley, Infernities, all that stuff. I mean, you have to have it. 2 copies of Polynosis. This used to be a 3 of. For those of you that don't know what this is, it's Solemn Judgment at the cost of tributing a plant monster instead of paying the life. So, awesome card, and tributing Dandy tokens, Garden tokens, Spore, Glow Up, Botanical at times if you have to, but that sucks. And just stuff like that. Amazing card. Then obviously Solemn Judgment, no explanation. Then Mirror Force. I chose Mirror just because it's backup for Garden Protection. They're not going to really be blowing up the back row with all of the other protection I've got. Not really a difficult decision to run that. Then to the side deck, 2 copies of Fossil Dyna. Awesome card for pretty much any matchup. You'd be surprised at the number of times that you can flip summon it, and there really isn't anything to be special summoned on the field, or anything that is special summoned on the field, so that's not a big concern. But this with Garden on the field, awesome, because I mean, if everything's halved, with Dyna on the field and Garden out, everything will still get halved, but the token will not be generated. That's how Garden is ruled. That's why this suddenly becomes a huge monster under Garden. It's a great card. Next will be 2 Consecrated Lights. Again, same thing as Dyna. You summon it, and everybody, while Garden's on the field, everybody will still be halved, but the Garden token will not be generated because the token is dark. So, yeah, great card. I dislike Black Wings a lot, so it's a card that I feel like you have to have. Same with Gravekeepers, although Command It makes things difficult. Next is 2 Jiu-Jitsu Masters. As explained with Botanical Lion, 1800 defense, 1300 attack. It's huge in this deck. I mean, after you've used it, I mean, after it's done work and spun something, 1300 is surprisingly decent beat stick. So, I mean, it's not uncommon to beat somebody down with Jiu-Jitsu Master. I've done it more times than I can count. Raiko, third one, just kill generic stuff. I mean, I just threw it. Awesome. It is. Just, it's a great card. Mill Spores, Glow Ups, Sniff Us if you can. I mean, it's... Next is Crow. Yes, this one has Mark written on it as well. Don't know if you can tell. It's like right above the head. Yeah. So send me cards. I'll run them. 2 Swallow Flips. Counter Trap. I mean, awesome card. Self-explanatory. 2 Shadow Mirrors. I came into Atlanta expecting a lot of Gravekeepers. Told you so. And yeah, I didn't see any. So that kind of sucked. Also good in the Infernity matchup. Not that the deck really has problems with Infernities. 7 Tools. Put it in like against Blackwings and stuff. Shut down Icarus. Just all sorts of generic stuff. One of the best cards in the deck by far. Mind Crush. Pretty self-explanatory. Everybody's searching for everything nowadays. And Torrential. I did not main deck Torrential because the deck is pretty stout in field presence already. And if you don't have field presence, typically you'll have a Garden out, and that'll be generating tokens, so you'll kind of establish yourself as having a field. Then to the extra deck, everybody is a one of. I'll explain the more questionable choices, but I mean, I'll pass over a lot of these for obvious reasons. Mistworm, Scrap Dragon, Brionic, Naturia Beast. You get this in Garden out and you win, essentially. Black Rose, don't forget about its second ability. Awesome. Colossal, been a lot more useless lately. So he might get cut, but I don't know. We'll see. It's still, I feel like I have to have it, you know. Cataster, Stardust, Goyo, Armory Arm, Formula Synchron. You can go with Dandy Token and any of your level 1 tuners. It's great. Then Herbellum here. Gotta remember, Garden Tokens are 800. They come out in attack position. So if you bring him out against a Garden Token of your opponent's, instant card out of their hand, because he'll be halved, he'll be an 1100, it'll still be an 8. Good card. Need it. Ancient Fairy Dragon. Life gain is useful in this deck. You gotta remember, it's running 2 7 tools, 3 warnings, and Solemn. So, I mean, life gain's good. You're running a field spell. It sets up for nice pushes. Which the deck does a lot better than people think. People think that it's just a stall deck sits there. It's not uncommon to drop 5 monsters a turn. I mean, it's none of them Garden Tokens. It's pretty good. Thought Ruler, again, life gain is pretty nice. Don't really go to it or Fairy Dragon a whole lot, but I mean, the fact that you have it if you're running low on life is really good. Then Android. Android is a go-to synchro, honestly, because you're paying. So I mean, it's nice to gain a little life back. Couple thoughts I had about the deck. I liked all of my card choices a lot in the main board. Loved my main board a lot. I almost feel like I should have sided better for Lightsworn, but looking over this, I don't really know what I would have dropped. Maybe you could make an argument for dropping the Puppy and the Torrential for a couple Light Mirrors. But, I mean, Shadow Mirror, we're all justifiably scared of Gravekeepers, or should be, at least. Especially me, because they're getting Garden off the field. Makes things tough. But that's hindsight's 2020. That is this week's Deck of the Week. Hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to respond to this or post any questions on ETC. Again, this is Drew Sliphay signing off. Have a good one, guys.